Hi and welcome to BND TV. We have created a series of talks for you entitled The Secrets of Sleep and Success. We are on a mission to empower 1 million people or more harness the awesome power of sleep to dramatically improve the quality of their lives. We hope you enjoy. Hi everyone. I am thrilled today to have Mr. Rajiv Kaul with us, and he has been in a unique position where sleep has actually contributed to his success in a very big way. You see, he heads the luxury brands of various hotels, both India and abroad, and he has been instrumental in bringing some of the most well-known brands into prominence. And today we're going to talk about sleep and success. So welcome to another episode of Secrets of Sleep and Success. So Rajiv.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Great to be here.
Thank you for taking the time out and being here. Rajiv, tell us about sleep and how it contributes to your success.
Well, as you said in your introduction, it's true that, for us hoteliers, sleep is the bedrock of what we do. A good night's sleep is what really is at the center of a successful hotel experience. So we go to great lengths to, give you the heavenly mattress, give you down feather pillows or goose feather pillows, or a menu selection of pillows. You have 300 thread count sheets. So all of these sensual experiences which would really contribute to sleep, and it helps. It makes all the difference. The air conditioning has to be silent. The temperature has to be right. So, the anatomy of sleep, the way we approach it, is a sensual experience. So I think that if you get it right, you have your guests coming back. So it works. So sleep for us is dollars and cents.
It's so amazing that you say this, because we have an entire chapter dedicated to the bedroom makeover. How to make your bedroom such that you have a really great date with sleep. And a lot of things that you said, getting the right kind of mattress, getting the right type of linen, bed linen, getting the most perfect pillow, having the air conditioner just right. What you can do in your own home to create maybe a 7-star sleep experience, and it is not so difficult really, especially when you know the anatomy and the psychology of sleep, right?
And once you start doing it, it's difficult to do without it. All along, we were raised that successful people don't waste their time in sleep. So I guess once you have lived by that adage for 50 years, and then we come across your book, or 55 years in my case, and then you come across your book, you really wonder, because 5 to 6 hours of sleep is frankly what I have experienced throughout my life, and it's done well for me. So I wonder if I have denied myself success by listening to the alarm.
The sleep science says that any normal human being, so we're not talking about advanced yogis and enlightened masters, but we're talking about people like you and me, need at least an 8-hour sleep opportunity. And the pandemic that is happening in our world really today is the pandemic of sleep deprivation. And you said you got by with 5 or 6 hours of sleep pretty well. Most people do pretty well, but you have no idea the kind of ill effects that are happening on your body and your mind because you deny yourself that extra 3 hours. We say that sleep deprivation is insidious, in the sense that a person who is sleep deprived doesn't know that they are sleep deprived until they collapse. A friend of mine, super workaholic, he used to do 32-hour days, if you can believe that, on a regular, consistent basis. And his idea of relaxation was going to a gym and working out. So one day he just collapsed in his office. And when you look at him, he's buff, he's really, fit, and people couldn't understand how can a person who is so fit suddenly almost die. Fortunately, he had in his in his team people who were really good and who could continue his work in his company. He ran a multi-million-dollar business in America, and he came to me for coaching, personal coaching, and he said, "I want to be like I was earlier." And I said, "Then you are in the wrong place, because that was not healthy. I want to bring you to a place which is healthy and from which you will never go back." And we went through a whole routine, a whole process. And when he really realized how amazing he felt when he slept the entire 8 hours, he said, "Oh my God, what have I been denying myself from?" You know. So
well,
not
there's quality and there's quantity of sleep, and
both.
the REM, we've always
Both.
read about that, but both are necessary.
Both. You need
I
good
see.
quantity and you need good quality. The quality you fixed in your hotel rooms. The quantity, that mindset change has to happen, that sleep is a waste of time. It is not. It is because you sleep that you're getting anything done.
But these power cat naps, they do very well for us professionals.
Those are fantastic, but they are not substitutes for an entire good night's sleep.
So an extended sleep is what is required rather than...
At least that 8-hour sleep. Some people have something called biphasic sleep, in which they sleep about 4 hours, then they potter around for some time for about 2 hours, and then they sleep again for 4 hours. That's also all right. But people who sleep for 5 hours and then sleep maybe an hour in the afternoon or half an hour in the afternoon, not so healthy. What I'm saying is the quality of your life could be dramatically improved if you gave yourself that sleep opportunity. I mean, it's like your mobile phone. You could have the world's best mobile phone, but if it doesn't have charge, it's just paperweight. And you could charge it at 40% and 30% and 40% and hope you get through the day. But the battery runs out. All that technology is gone.
No, there's a famous saying that the best cure for anything is a good night's sleep.
Absolutely. So many people have this thing that, oh, I can manage on 5 hours of sleep. But you must remember that when you are sleep deprived, you don't know you are sleep deprived until nature, knocks you out.
Yeah.
It's only then that you realize.
Well, also throughout your life cycle, I mean, as children, we 8 to 10 hours is what one clocked. And then as teenagers, it starts coming down, and then as working professionals, it kind of reduces, and then again it picks up as you go into your sunset years.
It's a bad habit. Through the teenage years, we
always thought that this is the body which is sending you signals, because the body is not the same throughout your life cycle. So why should your sleep cycle be the same?
Yes, the sleep hours may change. So as a teenager, it is very possible that you will start feeling sleepy at about 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. But you would need to sleep the 8 hours till 10 a.m. As an adult, it's very possible that your sleep cycle might come back to maybe 10:30, 11, going to sleep, waking up at 6:30, 7 o'clock. But that 8 to 9 hours remains constant. So it's very interesting how human beings are the only species on the planet who willingly deprive themselves of sleep. No other species, right? And I always say that
there are empirical studies.
Oh yes,
which are showing that.
Yes, in fact, there are sleep labs that have opened all over the world now with open challenges. That if you can prove that in 5 hours of sleep for just a period of 10 days, your body doesn't actually deteriorate. With physiological findings, they will give you $1 million or something like that. And nobody has been able to claim that prize. So in 10 days, there will be a deterioration in your body and your mind, your brain, if you sleep less than 8 hours.
And how quick is the healing process?
There is some damage that is irreparable. It's unfortunate. But our body, I believe, is just such an amazing piece of technology that given half a chance, it bounces back. And it knows how to adjust for things that have stopped working, right? So my suggestion, my prayer is that if people just sleep and don't consider sleep to be a waste of time, but consider sleep to be that time to recharge, rejuvenate themselves so that they can be even better at what they do, I think our world will be a much happier place. And that's my and Dinesh's and that's Dinesh and my mission. We want to empower 1 million people to sleep better so that they live better.
Well, it's a very sweet message, and yeah, listening to you, the doubts that I had, they're weakened. Let's put it like that. It's just that it's been drilled for so many years that you just said. Of course, there was a famous poet, Tennyson, right? Why should life all labor be? Let us sleep. I remember, but that was literature. Life is a little different.
No, but it's quite interesting. I read a lot of poems, and I saw that in the Romantic era, you take Shakespeare, you take Tennyson, people like that, they have glorified sleep.
Yes.
But as you go further down, they have made sleep into a villain. It's almost as if once the industrial age set in,
yes.
it became a sin to sleep. And it's very possible it's because of the invention of electricity, Suddenly there were things to do.
The cycles were totally disturbed, yes.
Right?
Correct.
But the point is that we have slept for 1 million years or more as a species for more than 8 to 9 hours every night. And suddenly over the last 200 years, if we start sleeping just 5 to 6 hours, the damage that is caused to the body, evolution has not prepared us for it. So evolution is slow, technology is fast, right? To just put it in monetary terms, did you know that a few years ago, and I'm talking about 3 or 4 years ago, there's a National Geographic article that I read, the United States of America alone spent $411 billion on issues of sleep and sleep deprivation. So it is affecting the bottom line as well, and I feel it's such a simple thing to do. Close your eyes.
Now, there are some animals who can't close their eyes.
Correct.
How do they sleep?
It's a very interesting question. So fish, for example. Now, fish need to keep swimming, otherwise they'll, so they sleep with half their brain. A lot of animals don't have a connection between the left side of their brain and the right side of the brain like we do. And so many species of fish, I know for sure dolphins and whales, they sleep with just half their brain. So while one side of the brain is totally rested, the other side keeps the fish going. And then when this side wakes up, this side goes to sleep. And that's how they do it. And birds are even more interesting. Yes. If you have a string of birds sitting in a row, the furthermost birds will sleep with half their brain, keeping a lookout for this side and that side, while all the birds in the middle go to sleep with both their brains. So it's very interesting how nature adapts.
Yeah, I remember reading sometime about migrating birds, and they were semi-asleep or
yeah.
While you are in the midst of activity at 10,000 feet altitude.
Yeah.
So I think the definition of sleep is different.
We call it meditation. Rest in the middle of activity, right? So
it's fascinating.
It's really fascinating. So coming back again, I would say that if you truly want success, then you have to realize that sleep powers success. And it's no point being at the pinnacle of your field if your body is not cooperating with you. If your body has physical health issues, how are you going to actually enjoy that success, right? So, and what I always say is that you cannot plan to be healthy at 60 and start at 59. You have to start way before that.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. No, and I think many of us make that mistake.
Me including. I plead guilty to it. I am from IIT, and I know how many nights I have stayed awake. But what is really interesting is, there was a very khadus professor in Yale or MIT, one of those very famous universities, who gave extremely bad grades to his class. So the class rebelled and said, sir, how come we have got these grades? And he made a questionnaire. So did you attend all the lectures? Did you complete all your assignments? If you had any trouble, did you ask your peers? Did you ask the tutors? If they still couldn't, solve it, did you come to me and ask me? And so he had many, many questions. And then the last question was, did you have a full night's sleep before the exam? Because if you didn't, it doesn't matter what you answered.
Very popular professor.
So the research shows that a straight A student, if deprived by just 1 hour of sleep for a period of 10 days, will go to bottom of class. Worse, it will take that person about a month to a month and a half to recover back to their original standard. So,
your message has to be taken to the corporate world.
I know.
Because honestly, they are butchers. Butchers, what is going on there. Particularly when you see the young generation, they've lost all sense of cycle.
Absolutely.
It's a 24-hour world. And
But you see the kind of diseases that are afflicting the, in quotes, younger generation. I mean, who ever heard of a heart attack at the age of 30? It's unheard of. Who ever heard of high blood pressure at the age of 26 and 27? Right? It is because that they have been abusing a system which is millions of years old, which is not equipped to handle this type of a lifestyle. They need to really look at their biology and really look at our history as a species and then make decisions.
Yeah, no, we in a sense there is this massive abuse, which takes place.
But then you have to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, good that you said it so, so straightforwardly.
I'm a Parsi, that's what I do. So Rajiv, if I could ask you this, if you could say 3 things that contributed to your success, what would they be?
Well, sleep was not one of them for sure. That's a given. That's a given, And, I think I was fortunate, really. I mean, sometimes you really take a look at it and you say, you were lucky to be sometimes at the right place at the right time, and you made the most of it. Though,
I think that's the important part. So, many people are at the right place at the right time, but they do nothing about it.
Yeah, I think that in terms of qualities that tenacity is something which is, if you're going to do something, do it very well, very well. Because anything that you do is almost like your signature is on it. So make it count. Whatever you do, make it count. So I think that's something which I was happy to do, and then you realize the value of it, so you reinforce it all the time. The other thing is that I was in a profession which is really a hotel employs as many as 700-800 people minimum. So, and there are a guest stays with you for 3 days. There may be as many as about several hundred moments of truth. You've got to get it all right for him to say, this place was great, this was special, this was memorable, I'm going to come back. So you rely on your team. It's not really how good you are, but really your team, and your team is several hundred people. In fact, we use the analogy of a clock. It has maybe 600 moving parts, and everything has to be right to get the right time. So teamwork becomes very important, and there I think I understood that real ability lies in having the ability to see ability.
What a fantastic statement.
So I think that's really important, and it's amazing the potential, the rich potential that people have in them, and all you got to do is just mentor it a little, ignite it, connect it, just make that connection in waking hours. Actually, we say that outside of sleep, the most important waking hours a guest spends is really in the bathroom. So in luxury hotels, we spend the barometer for luxury is the bathroom.
I agree. I totally
Simply
agree.
because that's where the waking time gets spent. And second thing
you say this, but whenever I walk into the hotel room, I check the bathroom out first.
Well, the bathroom is really the barometer for luxury. And second thing is that, I mean, luxury hotels, they cost today several crores a key to build. And the point is that when you go to sleep or when you switch off the lights, you are no longer seeing that beautiful, you know, the interiors, the marble, the Murano crystals, the expensive artwork. You're not. The only thing that you are really in touch with is your down feather pillow, your maybe goose feather duvet, the mattress, and the sheets. And that's why we pay special attention to these aspects. That's where it is. So coming back to you asked me for three, I think I gave you two. The third one I would say would be that passion is a must. It's our job, our profession, hotels is, you really shouldn't be there if you don't enjoy seeing a smile on your guest's face, because it's all about putting the guest first. So, but it's really wonderful when when somebody comes and you get instant feedback, so you know whether you're doing it right or you're not doing it right. Yeah, so it's great. It's great. In fact, I was, listening to you on one of your talks, I was just thinking that, yeah, well, work is worship, and in our profession, it is, it's a form of prayer, because you are really serving. Aditi Deva Bhava, and also yoga is karma yoga as well. So it's really through you're serving somebody, and really, if you understand, service is all about putting the needs and the comfort and the well-being of somebody above yours. That's really what it is. So I'm really grateful that I've had a great innings. I've had about 40 years in this profession, and I've had a chance to work with some great chains. I had 25 years with Oberoi Hotels, looked after their major hotels as a GM of their Delhi, Bombay, overseas, the Mina House, Cairo, and a portfolio of large hotels in Egypt. Came back, was with the Taj Group, and looked after this famous lady at the gateway of India, the legendary Taj Mahal. So I looked after that property for about 18 months. And then last 15 was with Leela Hotels. So it was wonderful to have a chance to build magnificent hotels like the Leela Palace New Delhi, Leela Palace Udaipur, and build Leela into a global brand. It's a pleasure to share with you that 2 years ago, the Leela Palace Udaipur was rated as the #1 hotel in the world. And the Leela brand was rated as #1 brand 2 years in a row by Travel and Leisure. So Travel and Leisure is like the Oscars for us. So it's a big deal. And there are 5,000 people working there, so it's fantastic when it's a shared mission and everybody is they're working for a higher purpose. So that the higher purpose was to be the best, not just be the best here, but to be the best. So grateful for all that.
And if there was one thing you would change, what would it be?
Change about myself, the world, you.
You pick.
What I would change, well, I think, like they say, if you really have any sense, you should go about changing yourself, not the world. So what would I change about myself? I think that I wish I had better discipline. I know what I have to do. I know how to do it, but I sometimes don't. For myself, it's amazing how you can execute something at work very, very proficiently, and make sure that there's be no deviation. But when it comes to a personal objective, I'm not able to carry that discipline there. So that's something which I hate to admit, but it's true.
Thank you, Rajiv. It was just brilliant having you here, sharing this little time together. And I have been to a lot of the hotels, and it has mostly been a brilliant experience, especially luxury brands. But I love the thing that you said, you get instant feedback. And I really love that statement of yours, the ability to see ability. What a beautiful statement it is. And that is what I'm going to take back and ponder about. And I hope you get better sleep now that you are retired, and you get the hotels to pamper you. So
Retired, I remember something very famous which Rai Bahadur Oberoi once said when he was asked at 92, when are you going to retire? So he says, I retire every night. You know? So we transition, but we don't retire. We retire only at night.
so retire properly every night then.
That's that.
And for, like you said, for all the corporates out there, if you are listening to this, do take care of your employees' sleep, because I promise you, a well-slept employee is going to give you millions of dollars back in productivity and creativity. Do not make the expensive mistake of letting go of sleep for almost anything else. Yeah.
Thank you, and really wonderful to be here, Baba, and grateful thanks to you and Dinesh for, you guys are such angels of happiness for all of us, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jai Gurudev. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and comment below, and remember to subscribe to our channel BND TV so that every time we put out a video, you get a notification right into your inbox. Remember to hit that bell button though, because that's when the magic happens.